What is going on, everybody? Ronan1011 here, and today we're going to do a movie review. We're doing a review for the movie Cloud Atlas. I saw it this afternoon with my girl. It was a movie we wanted to check out. We've been trying to get there since it opened, and we finally did. But before that, this is Battlefield 3 you're looking at. This is PC footage. I normally play on PS3, but I also have it for the PC. I'm a low level on this, but this is my DAO-12 loadout. I'm running with the DAO-12 shotgun, the 93R for my secondary, the automatic pistol, and the M320. With a little extra speed boost in there. Cloud Atlas is a book written by David Mitchell. I have not read it, but I'm going to give you a review. I'm going to try and stay very specific and focused because there's a lot to talk about here. So let's get into it. There's going to be spoilers, but I'm not going to go into the exact plot line, storyline with everything, or the individual stories. I just wanted to stay pretty general. So my first impression is I liked the movie. It was a good movie, okay? My second impression was that it was not exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be this big, sweeping, epic love story across space and time, and it really wasn't that epic. Okay, to break it down, you can tell that it's got multiple actors playing multiple characters, which is great. We'll get into that in a second, but mainly this storyline takes place over how many? 1, 2, 3. I think like six or seven time periods, and so the basic plot of a storyline is broken up into three main stories. The one story you have is just one story, and that just gets played throughout the whole movie. The second story, main story, is broken up into smaller short stories, like 2 or 3, I think like 3 shorter stories, and then you have the third main story, which is broken up into 3 or 4 shorter stories, and these all interweave. Okay, I will say that it does flow pretty well. The sense of tension in each, as the movie progresses, the sense of tension through each story is it's really good. It's perfect. You feel the same tension. The tension breaks when it goes through a different story. It's perfect. It really did do the timing very, very well. What I don't agree with is the fact that the devices and mechanisms they had in place to attach all of these stories and characters together, especially the quote-unquote love story, it wasn't really there. They stayed very, very general with the whole thing. Okay, so let's go to the beginning real quick. It starts in the 1700s. That's the first time period. Okay, from there it goes into the 1930s. Okay, 1700s is the son-in-law of a slave trader who goes there to create a contract with someone over there in I think it might even be Korea in the 1700s. Then the next period is 1930s, like I said, with this young composer who's trying to write his own symphony, and he gets in with this older composer, and he has a lover that he writes letters to, which get found in the 1970s, but he's reading the published journal of the guy from the 1700s, and his letters, like I said, go to 1970s, and are found by Halle Berry, and she's reading those. And then we move to the next time period, which is 2012, with Jim Broadbent, great actor, who owns a small publishing company, and he represents Tom Hanks's character in all this, and he gets put into an old age home because his brother puts him there because he was sleeping with his wife and all this stuff, and he breaks out of that. And then from there we go to the time 2144, which it takes place in New Seoul in Korea, but it's this big futuristic city with all this awesome technology where they're using fabricants made up, they're basically created people to work in fast food restaurants, and they all look alike, and they all do the same job, and everything like that, and then there's this essentially a mutiny or revolution where they try and break them out, and and then that starts something that ends you up in the post-apocalyptic world of New Seoul, Korea, after New Seoul's put underwater for whatever catastrophic event that happened, and now it's brought back into there's tribes and clans all in the wilderness and living in valleys with cannibals chasing after them. Hugh Grant plays a cannibal with awesome face paint, and he goes around killing everyone, and but all the future technology is still there, and the future people trade with the tribes people, and you find out that the future people are dying, and they're going to where the tribes are to find this something in the mountains so they can go and contact people that are off-world, essentially on other worlds that were supposed to be inhabited. So that's basically the whole plot line, the whole basis between, you know, all these time periods. And like I said, those small devices, like the journal from the 1700s, and then the letters that he wrote to the guy wrote to his lover, that end up in the 1970s, they all just fall flat. You know, I mean, especially at one point, you look at the journal from the 1700s, it's underneath the bed, the post of the bed, holding up the bed, you know, I guess from wobbling. And it's like, what? It's kind of ridiculous. And, you know, so those mechanisms don't really translate well. You know, the symphony that the guy in the 1930s ends up writing makes its way into the 1970s, but it just falls short. Like, well, okay, well, why was it there? What does it have to do with anything? It seemed like a lot of these, they kind of just, you know, put things in there, you know, like my girl and I were talking, and she says, yeah, like, what about when in 2012 when Tom Hanks's character, you know, looks at Halle Berry's character, they don't even talk, they just look at each other for like a second, and that was it. That was all it was, you know. And the reason I say that is because where's this big epic love story? Where's this souls across time thing? The device they used for that was this birthmark that shaped like a comet that they had on random places on their body. You know, that was the connection that, oh, that was the same person from the past. Now this is their life in this era, whereas opposed this is who they were then. So it's kind of like, okay, but what about that? No one actually had an actual love story. You know, where at one point in the 2144 era, after the guy breaks the you know, the replicant girl out of jail, I mean, out of her life, you know, they end up doing it, but that's the only real love story there was to it. I mean, it wasn't really all the, you know, I don't know. I'm babbling because I'm a little like, I don't even know, the more I think about it, I don't even know where the hell any of it went. Needless to say, that was kind of broken, but like I said, the movie itself was actually pretty cool. If you take it for what it is small, short stories, and, you know, you watch what happens in between there. Really good stuff. I mean, it's a good movie to watch. Just don't expect a big epic love story, because that's not what it was, you know. And like I said, it's very general. They just generally say, hey, this happened back then, and this person caught that up there. Maybe they're trying to have, like, oh, subtle coincidences from the past and stuff like that. I don't know. You know, I'm going to check out the book. The book was, you know, it's supposed to be a really good book, so I'm going to check that out. The last thing I wanted to talk about is just the makeup effects that they use. They use so much prosthetics in this to change everyone, which was great. Some was amazing. Some was phenomenal. Like making Tom Hanks's characters, most of his characters, looked really good. Okay, Halle Berry, you know, they made some of her look really good when they had the minimal makeup on her, but when they made her look like a white woman, didn't work out. They gave her this big honkish nose, and the Korean actress who plays, you know, from the future, in the future episodes, she, you know, they made her into a white woman as well in the past, and then in the future, it's like, that didn't work out either. Like, some of it falls really short. The worst for me was Hugh Grant in 2012, the brother of Jim Broadbent, looked horrible. So, anyway, take it for what it is. You know, it's something that hasn't been done before. It was a really cool movie. They paced it well. They edited it really well. Some of the plot line just falls short, falls flat in my opinion. You know, you be the judge of that. I'd love to know what your comments are. If you've seen it, if you're going to see it and you find this video, please watch it. Let me know, let me know what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to bringing you more reviews later.